Good morning, captains. It's me, TONIK TZW, and we're here on update day. Now, because I had such a busy week last week and a dad's weekend with Charlie, I didn't get a chance to go through the patch notes and make a video for that. But I'll try to do that for future updates. There is an absolute ton of stuff in this update, particularly that thing on the bottom there, which is the Hindenburg cruiser, and that thing is going to be available to earn over the next 3 updates. So it's going to be a bit of a grind, but will it be a crash and burn like the airship, or is it going to be something that is achievable for you as a player? But we'll get to that one in a little bit. I'm going to try and go through everything at the moment. The first thing that I'm going to cover is in here. There is a new game mode called War Tales, and I had a quick flick through this earlier, and it appears that we have 3 different scenarios: Frost Sword, Bleeding Heart, and Chainbreaker. Now, these 3 are playable, as it says there, division only, 3 members required. So you're going to have to put a division together to play through these. I'm guessing Random War Tale will just drop you in with another 2 random players and give you any one of the 3 missions. But I'll try and get to that if I find some time to do a live stream tonight. Excuse me while I clear my throat. Right, we've got the standard AI arcade and standard battles. There's nothing on with ranked arena brawl, free club, and obviously there's a training mode. But I understand there are 3, is it 3 arenas going on in this update over the next few weeks? So there's going to be the opportunity there to earn some steel as well. Within the ships list, the Dutch cruisers are now out of early access and they are available to everybody to research. Now, I was only lucky enough to get the tier 5 kite down out of my early access crates. But I did play and research the ships that I could, and then I've used about 500,000 global XP that I've been stocking up for months to complete the Dutch line of ships, and I've used, let's have a look, probably about 30 million credits there to complete that line. I haven't put upgrades on any of these ships yet, but we've had 4 or 5 weeks there to see how these ships have played, and I'm looking forward to playing some of these now that I have them available. Oh, my sound's just gone really funny for some reason. But we have the campaign available. Let's get in here. And the reward is the tier 8. Is it Dalian or Dalian premium cruiser? So we've got a tier 8 cruiser as the campaign reward. That's going to be good for me on my free-to-play account because I don't currently have a tier 8 premium, and I've earned enough free doubloons over God knows how long it took me, probably over a year, that I can buy out a campaign. So between the Hindenburg and the I'll call it the Dalian. Between the Hindenburg and the Dalian, I'm going to be able to have a legendary and a tier 8 pretty much free of charge, even though the Hindenburg is going to take a lot longer to get a hold of. But let's back out of here. As always, best value for money here, if you're not a whale or a warrior, is to purchase your Admiralty backing for 2,500 doubloons, because that cost will be reduced by the doubloons that you get back. I believe it brings it down to 17 or 1,800 doubloons. That is the best value for money. It also gives you some additional missions, which normally means you can finish the campaign about a week early if you're lucky, 2 weeks if it's a longer campaign, and then you can start earning some steel with your daily and weekly endless missions. What I do not recommend is buying out the complete campaign, because why would you spend 32,250 doubloons on something that you can play the game for and earn for 2,500 doubloons and basically get exactly the same stuff at the end of it? It makes no sense whatsoever to do it the other way. But we're not going to go through the entire list of rewards here. But what I will say is that with the Hindenburg campaign, you will see here that there are ship parts. This is the currency that will get you the Hindenburg over the next 3 updates. And we'll go into that a little bit more in a second. But let's just back out of here and let's get on with our missions and assignments. Now, heroic effort we've got there, that is extra progress if you get up to 3,500 base XP. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each week, if you manage to hit a 3,500 XP game, and if you do, you're playing awesome. Congratulations. You're going to be able to get an extra 8 levels of progression on your campaign. And let's see how many we get for the weekly havocs. 1, 4, 7, 10, 12, 14, 16 plus 4 is 20. So you've got a 5-week campaign to get you up to the 100 levels. Obviously, if you're doing your heroic missions as well, you can certainly end it by the end of week 4. And say, if you're lucky, are you going to be able to get it by week 3? That would be, yeah, you might have to boost it a little bit to finish it at the end of week 3. Assignments, yeah, let's have a look at what they're giving away here, because we're gonna look first of all at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. And yeah, if you're a kid from the 80s or the 90s, you remember that one. I don't sing it as well as they used to do it on the cartoon, but basically playing any type of game mode in any tier from 1 to legendary. If you achieve the objectives here, you will get yourself a free Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stack of pizza boxes crate, a base, and a symbol. Um, yeah, I don't know where this one came from. I did ask if they'd released a new movie, and somebody said yes. I think they did, but I don't know because I don't go out much. Golden Days. This is part of the Golden Week celebrations. So again, what are we looking at here? Japanese ships, and then any ship, and Japanese ships. So make sure that although it's any game mode, for the Golden Days 1 and Golden Days 4 there, you do have to be playing a Japanese ship. Any class, any tier from 3 to legendary, you're going to get some unsinkable Sam, looks like a flag and a symbol there. You will also get a free Golden Week crate. We've got 12 camos, a spring crate, and a Japanese commander crate there as rewards. Next on the list is Tales of the Victorious. And I had to think a little bit there about what this symbol was. But that's that new game mode. So you have to play a battle, 500,000 damage, and win 5 battles. So not too much of a grind. And you're going to get another flag, another base, a symbol, and a symbol out of all of those. Looking at those symbols, there is one symbol for each of those scenarios. I can't remember exactly what they were called: Icebreaker, Bleeding Heart, and something else. But there you go. So that is in the new game mode. So don't panic that it's a new symbol. Just clear your mind, relax, and look and learn at what you've got to do. Allied Heroes. This is a card collection, I think. Is it a card collection? But what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 crates. And what I wanted to point out here is, even though there are tech tree and premium ships in here, if you look at the top row there, you'll see that there is an alternative B option for each of these missions. So click down on your controller. You can see you don't have to have the Tier 4 Premium Gremyashki. You can do it in any Tier 4 Russian or French ship. Doesn't have to be a destroyer. Destroyer, battleship, cruiser. Same for this one. Doesn't have to be the Fantask. Standard battle, French or Russian again. Tier 5 or 6, British or Pan-European. Tier 5 or 6, British and Pan-European again. 7 or 8, American or... I can't remember what that is now. Is it Pan-American? I can't remember. I think it's Pan-American. Something like the Atlantic Ocean falls under that. And I imagine that's what most people will be doing. And then Tier 7, Tier 8, American or Pan-American again. So the missions are slightly different here. 25,000 hit points of fire damage or 15,000 hit points of fire damage with the Sumner. So I expect Sumners to be sailing around with gunboat builds, not torpedoing things. So that's something to be aware of there, that you don't necessarily have to have the specific ship, that you can do the alternate missions. There you go. So as far as trials go, you've got your standard weekly assignments, which give the normal rewards. You have got some additional ship parts in there as part of the rewards. There's 150 doubloons and 3 spring crates at the end of it. And remember, guys, don't rush these things. Don't rush to try to tick off every single mission, for each game you play. Play the game, play for a win, take the missions as they come, and enjoy the rewards. Weekly boosts, bog standard, nothing special there. You've got your promotion orders, you've got some global XP, some camos, and some flags. Nothing amazing there. And obviously, premium supplies is, looking at this, pretty much the bog standard premium supplies run. You might have thought that they would have chucked some extra ship parts in there as part of your premiums, especially at the high tiers, but they didn't, because Wargaming still do have to make a buck out of this game. This disappointed me that we haven't got a bureau project with this update. The Hindenburg, as they've called it, is a marathon. It would have been nice to have had another bureau project come into the game at this point. I finished the Jinan in the last update. There's already a video on my channel of the Jinan, which was quite a fun one to play. But then we're going to get to the bit that Wargaming make their bread and butter from. Let's get into this. Any player that I think has played longer than a year is going to have a loyalty reward in here. I am just short of the 6-year reward by, I'm going to say, it's probably a matter of weeks or a couple of months at most. And I don't have the Mysore, but I also don't have the Tashkent 39. And what I do have is 323 days of premium, which will actually go up to 333 days of premium. But what I would have loved to have seen Wargaming do here is give people the option to use some of their premium days to boost their reward. Now, for people like me that have got a large number of premium days available, obviously there would be zero cost to me. However, and this could be a bad thing, what it might have encouraged people to do is to spend money on premium time to boost their reward. And I always try to be conscious of how much money I spend on this game. And I always try to reinforce that with people, especially newer players, not to go throwing tens or hundreds of pounds at this game, because every update there is content there that is literally worth hundreds of pounds. And I think for the majority of the player base, to try and perhaps purchase everything that is available is just unrealistic and unsustainable. But I'm going to get the tier 5 cruiser, the ISO. I'm going to get a commander crate, 100,000 global XP, 2 insignia, 15 promotion orders, 10 days of premium, 25 camos, and then looking at this, loyalty is royalty. I'm going to get 13 rewards out of this. So we'll go back and have a look at that in a moment, but let's redeem this right now. There we go. We've got it, and we'll see what our loyalty rewards are in that personal mission in a second as that pops up on the screen. Featured screen. Yeah, don't believe the discounts. That's all I'll say. Why are they putting a 10% discount on something that's been released into the game today? What it tells me is that it was overpriced to start with. Anybody who tries to sell you anything and immediately gives you a discount, that should be ringing alarm bells in your head to say, well, the price that you gave me at the start was obviously overpriced to start with. So the fact that they're offering a discount on something that's been released today should tell you that it was overpriced to start with. And what I will say in this pack is there are no ships in this pack. There are no commanders in this pack. All you are going to get out of this are some skins. You are going to get some guises to apply to your commanders, which is going to give you funny voices. Let's have a listen.
Turtles, I need fire support.
Oh my goodness.
All stations, provide fire support.
Well, so far, Leonardo and Raphael sound exactly the same.
Hang in there, help is on the way.
Michelangelo doesn't sound any different.
I owe you one.
And no, neither does Donatello.
That is how it's done.
Okay, Shredder sounds a little bit different.
Much obliged.
And Krang sounds really annoying. So those are guises. If you look there, they are going to give you a guise bonus for achieving something. So let's just have a look through the guises. What have we got? So that's a destroyer captain, guys. Defended, captured, or assistant captured, going to give you 20% boost in global XP. Looking at the top right-hand corner of the screen now, just in case you're feeling a little bit lost. Set fire 3 times to ships. I'd say that's cruisers or destroyers or an HE spamming battleship. Cheers, guys. 20% global XP. In one battle, get 30 ribbons. That can be on any ship. 20% XP. So that would be good if you're grinding up a tech tree line using premium boosters. 2 detected ribbons. Again, 20% XP. So that's going to be mainly destroyer players. 45 times with main battery. I'm going to say cruisers or battleships. In fact, any class really, because you've got some good spamming destroyers out there with fast reloading guns. 35% on your credits. I think that's. Well, I've got to say it's not bad. Earning free credits to help you progress is always a good thing. And again, there 50 times of secondaries. That's going to be your battleship captains, your brawlers, and that's going to get you 35% in credits. But then you can get yourself some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle flags. Yeah, purely cosmetic, does absolutely nothing. It would be great if flags did give you something like the guys boosts, and then you could earn them another way. Then there's this thing here, Majestic Trio, and what is it? 3 premium ships for 35,000 doubloons. Now, obviously, there is a discount there because some of those premium ships, obviously, the total price is going to be much more. I don't know why they're bundling ships together like this, but they are. But I'm not going to buy them because I have 4 of the 6 ships already, and I'd be stupid to spend that kind of money. Um, but rather than go through these ones here because they are included in the store itself, we'll go along to those. The balloon speaks for itself. Offers, I'm going to take my daily reward. Let's have a look and see what's in the office screen here. So you've got the black, which is 10% off. You've got the Fenyang there. I haven't got that one. 40% off that one, 7,500 doubloons. I don't know what it's actually got. Rapid reload, 2 smoke screens, and AA consumable, torpedoes, 67 knots, and 12 Ks. I might be interested in that one. I've got enough for my doubloons and my Admiralty back in. And then we've just basically got a heap of scrap metal there. Let's have a look at the anniversary. 6 years strong. Congratulations on your birthday, Wargaming. I hope somebody gets you cake, or at least you can buy cake with all the money that people are going to spend in this update. Um, Super 6 crate there, 10,000 doubloons, tier 6, a guaranteed tier 6 premium ship for 10,000 doubloons. I can't remember what this Champions kit was. I think it was a random crate from any one of the yeah, there we go. Pop open a Champions box to find exclusive items from our best events over the past years. So I think that one just gives you a random crate from a random event, no guarantee of what you're going to get. And then obviously you've got the randomness of the percentage drops for that particular type of crate. Commander's inside, you've got an insignia there, a commander crate, and you're going to get a discount code for 10% off select commanders. It doesn't say all commanders there, so I'd be cautious about buying that one. Commander's wisdom, you're going to get a universal commendation that can be used to promote any commander. Excuse me for a moment. You're going to get 20 promotion orders, like we need any more of those, and 10% off select ships in the store. Again, not all ships, and we won't see what that selection is until you buy that and get the discount code. Spring Breeze. 6 spring crates, 20 standard crates, 35,000 Commander XP, and an extra 1,000 doubloons for any doubloons bundle starting from 2,750, including war chest. So you spend 2,500 to get a coupon that'll give you an extra 1,000 if you buy 2,750. So that's a spend money to save money kind of thing, and get some crates out of it with some pretty much useless items coming out of those ones. Not much in those ones either, to be honest. So is it value for money? Not particularly. Spring crates, again, 25% discount. How many can you buy? You can buy one. Is it worth it? Probably not. I wouldn't waste my doubloons on it. Common containers, don't waste your money. If you're having to spend money if you're having to spend real money, i.e. doubloons, to get credits, then you're not playing the game the right way. Get yourself into standard and get some credit boosters on, because you can make that in one game with a tier 7 premium. You can make that in one game with many other ships, unless you're playing legendary tier with a bunch of potatoes, and then you're probably going to be losing that much every single game. And God forbid, don't spend like real money on camos or boosters. It is ridiculous, and I shall climb through your television and slap you round the face with a wet fish if your friends tell me that you actually did that. Celebration time. Here we go. We've got Majestic Trio, Valiant Squadron, and Mighty Force. So we got 35,000, 25,000, and 20,000 doubloons. That is a lot of money. Looking at this, I've got most of these ships already. Most of them I've probably picked up for free over the years from various event crates. Some I've bought because I've wanted them. Um, but yeah, do you want to throw a crap ton of money at 3 ships? It's your choice, guys. It's your choice. But Sirocco here is on what's that? 15% off. Don't rate it. Genova, I don't even recall how many times I've played it. 15% off. Marblehead. Okay. If you want a very good tier 4 premium cruiser, I would recommend the Marblehead. It is 5,300 doubloons. let's have a look at that. You're going to be buying that package, 15 quid. If, yeah, 15 quid for the Marblehead. Guys, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and say that so far, that is probably the best place to drop some pennies. 5,300 for the tier 4 Marblehead. That is my recommendation for purchase of the update so far. I love that chip. It's an Omaha that just is better. Now, don't be one of those people that turns around and says, but an Omaha normally gets dev struck within 30 seconds of starting the game. Yes, that's because it's generally a new player that's just unlocked it and is sailing broadside to people who are doing their weekly tier 4 premiums in ships like the Julio Cesare. This thing can be annoying as hell. You can play at range, you can sail in circles, you can spit HE out from the front, from the back, and from both sides. You can do 360s and just keep firing those guns constantly and light those fires up and burn people to the ground. And generally, just be a nuisance. Um, pull the trigger on that one if you've got £15 to spend. Then we've got this wonderful unique bundles inside, and this is going to be one of those things where you have to spend the money to progress up. And the best thing there is there at the end, the Spectral Bolts 3. Now, one of the things that I will say here is that when you go down and select on PlayStation, you can click the square. It will open up a web page which you can then navigate to look at the contents and the drop rates of the crates. That is something I recommend you should always do before spending money on crates. Look at the crate, look at the drop rates. Do not click that button to purchase until you have done so, because then you'll at least know what your chances are of getting something. 4 seasons here, not the hotel. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter crates. 20 crates for 6,000 doubloons. What's that? 300 doubloons per crate. Quick bit of Rain Man maths in my head there. Is it worth it? Again, have a look at the crates. There are some premium ships in them. They do have a low chance of dropping, but generally for newer players in the game, um, I think it is biased to give them a greater percentage of dropping a ship than the seasoned players that potentially have more ships in the game. That is just my personal opinion. I can't back that up with any mathematical fact. What's this? Spring Energy, 3 of each, 3 commanders for 3,950 plus 3 spring crates. No, you can get 3 commander crates for 10.5 million credits, which are freely earned in the game every single week. So if you want to build up your commander roster, grind your credits and do it that way. Tactical boost, universal accommodations, always hard to come by. Is that worth 6,000 balloons? It's 3 of them. Is it? No, it's not. Honestly, go back, buy the Marblehead. Italian commanders, French commanders, Russian commanders, UK, US, Japanese, and German commanders. 3,500 doubloons for 2 crates, or 5,000 for 2 insignias and 5 standard crates. No, none of that is worth the money apart from the Marblehead. So let's go along to the special screen again. Do not buy this crap. It's just do not encourage wargaming to keep entering into these ridiculously pathetic collaborations that are purely revenue generating and offer you, the player, very little in return. Just don't do it. That's all I'll say. um, Yeah, 20 boxes of pizza, 10 boxes of pizza, 5 boxes of pizza. Let's see what you're going to get there. Um, Basically, all you're going to get out of these boxes is something that is potentially in that bundle pack. Um, Guys, just do not throw money at this. It is ridiculous. It is bad. It is terrible. It brings no substance to the game. It brings no quality to the game, and it just makes it a complete cash cow. So don't do it. Honestly, like if your mate has found that really fit bird in the nightclub and he's going home with her, and her friend says, only if your mate hooks up with my mate, and she is a £500 behemoth that hasn't seen a shower in the last 8 months and has armpits that are hairier than a prehistoric woolly mammoth, you know, don't go there. You wouldn't go there in real life. Don't do it in the game. Right, Golden Week. What have we got? We've got another guys in Golden Week. What does Miyu give us? Two flood and ribbons for a 50% bonus in credits. Destroyer players again. You are going to get 300 bonus ship points. And yeah, I want to get to that because I initially was happy with the way that Wargaming had done this marathon, but there's a tinge of unhappiness alongside it because there are going to be whales out there. There are going to be people who want the Hindenburg, but perhaps haven't got the time to grind. So potentially their only option in getting sufficient ship parts to get the Hindenburg is to be spending money on content that they don't want or need purely to get the ship parts. This is a skin for the Amagi. It gets you 900 extra hit points. Hit points, ship parts, not hit points. The same goes for the Izumo, and the same goes for the Megami. It is basically a ship skin with some extras ship parts thrown in. What have we got here? Hayate in gold. I've got the Hayate. I don't have the camo. Not interested. Again, selling ships with a skin and potentially a flag. Hugo, very good tier 5 premium battleship. Esasio, I've had some fun in too. Maya, yeah, it'd be nice to add to a collection and pick up another premium that I'm not going to get out of a crate. But I'm not going to spend money. I'll wait and see what I get through the year out of all my free stuff. We got two more geysers. What are they going to offer? 20% global XP for fires. That's, you'd get those in a Japanese cruiser. This guy is going to give us 20% XP, so research XP for ships. No good if you're already maxed out on your ships, but it would be good if you're grinding up the Japanese cruiser line. And then we've got insignia, personal accommodation, 1,000 doubloons for personal accommodation. Yeah, that's kind of max value that I'd go for that one. And then we've just got more junk. What's we going to go up to? Go on to ships. What have we got? Black and Fenyang, which were on discount. Schlieffen project there, discounted from 30 million to 24 million credits. So if you haven't got the Schlieffen yet and you're sat on a whole load of credits, that might be worth doing. Pick it up now, save yourself 6 million credits. I could pick it up again, but at the end of it, I would just get my 24 million credits back, plus any stuff that I earned, sort of crates wise, flags, boosters, or XP wise, grinding up the chain. I don't have the Monarch, and until this morning, I would have had enough global XP to pick up the Monarch, but I spent it all on boosting my line of Dutch cruisers. But let's get back to this front screen because it's the bit that everybody wants to know about. It is this marathon, this marathon pre-update grind for the Hindenburg. So this is working in a similar way to, holy crap, that scared the living daylights out of me. Wasn't expecting that. I hope it doesn't happen again. Um, but yeah, it did disappoint me. Why has it gone up all the way up there? I don't want to go to 20,000. Show more. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Can we go down the line? No, we can't. We can shoot the guns again, though, but I'm not going to do that because that triggered my PTSD when it's unexpected like that. So, this thing, look down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, click your left stick on PlayStation. Don't know what it is on Xbox. How to unlock the ship. Now, there are so many ship points that you can earn for free through the campaign and weekly assignments. The stage 2 and stage 3, it's kind of masked at the moment. They haven't given us a full breakdown of how we're going to do it. But I imagine that, given that there's a number of seasons, I think it's Brawl or Arena that are on over the next updates, that they might kind of throw those in as well. But this week you can earn 4,900. Oh, sorry, this update you can earn 4,900. Next update you've got 8,500, and the third update, which is the one that's going to give you the bulk of what you need, is 13,000 for free. Which, doing a quick bit of maths, is 22,500, 26,500, 27,400 for free, and you only need 20,000 to get the ship. Now, Wargaming did say there's something like 49,000 available in total, but that some of it will be available through purchase content. In other words, it's going to be behind a paywall. 3,000 behind a paywall. This week, we did see some of the packages that included additional ship parts in the store. 9,500 are going to be paywalls on month two of, on stage 2, which is the next update. And then there are going to be 10,000 behind stage 3, which is going to be part of the third update. So in total, there's over 49,000. Forget the exact figure, but let's just have a look. 10, 19 and a half, 22,500 there available through paid content. And that is going to cost you a lot of money. But guys, if you've got time to do the grind, earn as many free ship parts as you can through the 3 updates. Remember, they have called it a marathon. It is not a sprint. Yes, if you purchase all the paid content, you could potentially earn the Hindenburg and own the Hindenburg before the end of the next update. But do you want to spend money to get a ship which you can potentially have for free? Um, do we often spend money on things that we could get for free? Well, yeah, just think about getting married, because you spend a lot of money there to get something from her indoors that you could potentially get for free if you stayed single. And, well, you'd still be buying drinks for ladies, I suppose, if you know what I mean. Um, there are some things you get for free in life, but there are other things that you will pay for and continue to pay for the remainder of your life. Death and taxes, the only 2 things that are certain in life. Um, but yeah, there you go. You are, of course, going to get some additional stuff on the way there. You've got a Golden Week 25 crate, you've got an insignia, you've got 2 universal accommodations, 5 spring crates, 36 camo, 10 legendary level. Is it legendary or epic? I can't remember what level that one is with the 3 stars, but it's the top level of global XP. And then when you hit 20,000, you can unlock the Hindenburg. Now remember, that is a progressive. Sorry, no, it is a cumulative. You need 20,000 in total. You don't need 2.5 and then to get another 5 and then a 10, because then it would all add up, to a ridiculous amount of ship parts that you'd never achieve. So yeah, 20,000. Play your game, play your missions, tick it off. If it's getting to the end of the third month, and you want the Hindenburg and you haven't got 20,000 ship parts, then if you are desperate for the Hindenburg, then I'm afraid you're going to have to spring some cash for it. That is how it goes, guys. That is my take on the what's in store for this update. I'm hopefully going to be streaming certainly this week. Hopefully tonight we'll get some games in. And if you want to join me, please do. Shout up in the chat and we can pull you into the game and play a couple of games together. So I have been your host, TONIK TZW. This has been what's in store for the, what are we in? We're in the April 2025 update. I hope you have a great time. Oh, before I go, there's one thing I forgot to show you, wasn't it? It was the missions that I get from my loyalty is royalty and what we're going to get from that. So, what have we got? 4 battles for some booster flags, 5 battles for some commander crates, 5 battles for some more premium time and some boosters, another 5 battles for an insignia, 5 battles for a camo or some camos and booster flags, and then 6 battles for a commander crate and some promotion orders. And then the one thing that I can't tell you what we get up there is what that discount coupon is for with the insignia. We can't go all the way to see what that discount coupon is for. But there we go. That is what I get for having played for 5 years and not quite 6. So, spend your money wisely. Play for the win. Take what you can for free. And don't ever spend more than you are comfortable spending. Have a great time, guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.